We're live.
We're live. What's going on, everybody? It's Matt and Justin for yet another happy hour. It's Friday. It's 5 o'clock. And unless you're not on the East Coast, then it's some other time. But hey, where I am, it's Friday. It's 5 o'clock. And it is time for a happy hour. Whether y'all been sitting around the house all day or whether you've been out doing stuff, whatever it is you could be doing without getting in trouble, I commend you guys for being here. So welcome. We are live on Facebook and live on YouTube right now.
Right.
So there's lots of folks that signed up to be here. So we're really grateful that you guys are here and watching us. And this is a happy hour. This is where Justin and I are going to just sit and hang out and talk about happy stuff. Enjoy a great conversation. You guys can leave comments during this feed. So if you're watching now or if you're watching the recording, whatever it is, leave comments. We'll see them come in either later or live. And we'll jive live with you guys. So leave some comments. Justin, how are you today?
I'm great, man. I'm having a good day.
I am too.
Yeah,
I'm having a pretty good day. I was on daddy duty all day today.
Ooh, yeah.
We'll talk about that when we get our guests on.
You guys have been good switching day on, day off, where we do like 2 hours on, 2 hours off type thing. So
it's hard
to get some work done I know it's hard to get into a rhythm, but we both have to work. Like she's still teaching her students, you know.
I get it. I'm down to change it up, you know.
Yeah.
But, okay, so a few things I want to mention here. This program is brought to you by DeRosa Insiders. That is something that a great initiative that Justin and I have done. Because a lot of people want to hear more about real estate investing. And we put a lot out on our YouTube channel, a lot out on Facebook, a lot out on Bigger Pockets about real estate investing, but it doesn't really give people the inside look at what we do. So what DeRosa Insiders gives people is the inside look of a real estate company. And that. So I think that's what's great about DeRosa Insiders is we're allowed to go a little more unscripted, right, Justin? A little unfiltered. And also a little more gloves off and just show really the ins and outs and the bruises and bumps and the wins and the successes that happen in a real estate business. And so that's what's great about Insiders is it gives that look. Those that have invested with the DeRosa Group for our projects are free members of Insiders. So all of our investors are members of Insiders already. And it's extremely affordable buy-in if you want to join Insiders. So all you got to do is just go to DeRosaGroup.com/insiders. And if you want a discount on it, just pick up your handy dandy cell phone and send a text message to 66866. It's in the word DeRosa, DEROSA to 66866. And that'll send you a coupon code to join Insiders for $1 for the first month.
And you know what? If you don't like it, after you spend your $1, you cancel it. No worries. Yeah. Right.
What costs $1 anymore?
But
how about like real estate inspiration?
I don't think so.
Yeah, picking our brains for a month and everything like that.
So here's some cool things. Some cool things about DeRosa Insiders. One is access to Matt. So one thing that we're doing right now that we just launched is the DeRosa Deep Dive. And so everyone that's a member in the next week is able to submit their pressing problem, their challenge. And Matt, you're going to give away, I don't even know if you know this, you're giving away 30 minutes of coaching, intense one-on-one with these guys, and what we're calling the DeRosa Deep Dive.
Whatever it is.
And
you tell me I do it.
Exactly. So this is an awesome opportunity. If you watching right now have a challenge in your business and you want to get Matt one-on-one, don't click that, Matt. Come on.
Sorry.
You can get one-on-one time with Matt to go. You're going to stream like this, and we're going to deep dive on your challenge. So whatever it is, whether it's finding deals, managing deals, raising money, deep dive. So you have to be a member to get into the deep dive. So join. Just text. If you text for $1 this week and you're in, great. You'll be entered to win. And then if you bounce out the week after, that's fine. I think we provide a lot of value. So that's number one. The DeRosa Deep Dive. Get your questions answered. Get that one time with Matt. It's really. I mean, you can't put a price on that, let alone $1. That's crazy. The other thing is, we're really focused on multifamily, right? So we have all of our multifamily team members who are here and talking and in the chat and making videos. Today, I did a deep dive on the last week. So what did we do the last 5 days? What kind of meetings did we have? Why did I put our $217,000 roof project on hold and tell everyone to stop work? I got into all of that. The outcome of that decision, why, how, who, everyone involved.
That took a lot of cojones, man. Justin put the brakes on a $250,000 roof replacement on an apartment complex because something didn't smell right, and Justin stopped it. I think appropriately so. And then he figured it out and he put it back on. But lessons like that, you don't have to be in the middle of a $250,000 roof project to learn a lesson from it. You could just be doing any type of renovation, whether it's a $3,000 renovation or a $50 million renovation. If you had been in Justin's seat, you would have learned a lot by witnessing what Justin went through, and the decision that he made, I think, is a good educational moment for everybody. So that's the kind
of stuff we're putting out there. It's really good. It's really all about sharing light on what we're doing and helping people. Actually, one of our members joined a panel that they participated. They were watching a panel that I was on Wednesday night, and I noticed that they were an insider. And they had a question, so we ended up sidebarring for like 30 minutes afterwards, just chatting, because I know they're an insider, and I wanted to like help them solve one of their problems. And so it's a community that we're building. It's a lot of fun, and we're having fun and learning some too. Yeah,
spread the word. I'm sure we'll mention it a little bit more, but I mean, you can go to derosagroup.com/insiders if you're considering investing in real estate. If you are a current real estate investor with a side portfolio, if you're doing it full time like Justin and I do, Insiders is really where you want to network with other real estate investors. Hang out with me and Justin. Like I said, you're going to pay more for coffee this month than you will for Insiders. It is a phenomenal feature at a super, super affordable price. For what you get. So check it out, derosagroup.com/insiders, or get a coupon code for it by texting DeRosa to 66866.
Right there. All right.
Cool.
All right. Let's do it. What do we have today?
Man. Let's do it. Not that this matters, but curious why we can't see comments. And it's okay, because I'm Mr. Solutions. I've got ways around that. If we don't have ways around that, I can.
Well, let's see. I know that we have people watching, so I want to make sure that if you are watching, leave us a comment. Let us know who you are, where you're from, and we want to see your comments there. So make sure you're putting in your comments. I don't know if it's that we haven't gotten comments or that we just can't see the comments. So we're going to find out, because I just commented, so I don't see it. So maybe we're having a challenge with comments today. We'll figure that out. But I'm watching YouTube and I'm watching Facebook. So if we don't get them through our streaming app, we've got it some other ways.
Okay, cool. So I was about to do the same thing. So if you're already watching on the apps, that's awesome. We've got a comment here. It looks like there is a comment, but it's okay. I mean, it might have just been you.
I said, hey, everyone. And then Dustin said, hey. Mark Alberto's, hey there. We got some oh, there they are. All the comments just popped up. Awesome. Dan from South Jersey. What's up, man? How are you?
Gotta love StreamYard.
Hey,
Mark Alberto. There's a Mark Alberto's an insider. Let's see. Justin. Hey, everyone. Justin's an insider. How many Facebook watchers? Yeah, if anybody's watching on Facebook and you guys are watching, if anybody's watching on Facebook, somebody just do me a favor, just type in a comment, just see if we're getting Facebook comments. I think last week we weren't getting them, but I'm curious if Facebook is engaged yet. So, hi, Stacy. What's my buddy? How are you? Stacy's the best property manager. Jordan Fraser. Hey, no relation?
Yeah, awesome video editor. Very
awesome video editor. Hey, I don't know. Yeah, you wouldn't.
I don't know anything else. I just know that he's a good video.
Put you two up next to each other, would be able to tell you're related. So,
well, that's true. That's true. Stacy wants to know where the drinks are. Stacy, I got my bourbon today. I have a nice Breckenridge bourbon from our trip out to Colorado, where I won the nice prize pack from our friends at Aloha Capital. They sent me some bourbon afterwards. I'm very excited. It's good bourbon. It's almost gone too, unfortunately.
Stacey, I hate to disappoint you, but I'm fun with that a drink in me. I'm having water today because I decided to give up drinking for 2 business weeks. So I'll be back in next Friday. We love you too, Stacey. I'll be back in next Friday for drinking, but I needed to give it up for just a little bit, so I decided to do a little health initiative in that. So I'm not drinking the next week or 2, but that's okay. I'm still fun.
We got Steve Chatto shouting out on Facebook. What's up, Steve Chatto? Great to have you here.
What's up, man?
We got Erik Cabral commented and said, bring on the guest, the good guest. So I don't know what that's about, but
speaking of that, why don't we get those guys in here? It's more easy. It's easier for me to break your balls when I've got people here with me. So
let's do it.
Yes, let's get our guests in. Without further ado, why don't you introduce who we got here, Justin?
Okay. We have Mr. Erik Cabral and Mr. Josh McCallen. Hello, guys.
Hey.
How are you?
What's going on, dudes?
Watched it somewhere in the abyss over there. Erik got a nice bottle of wine there.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not Renault, but it's good enough. It's a nice Chianti.
I think that'll be the requirement for the next one.
Yeah,
We all have
eat that with some fava beans and eat liver and fava beans.
I actually have a Renault bottle right over there.
I'm waiting my turn because I just want to thank you guys for all the generosity with this insiders group. I mean, when I saw, you guys know, I just signed up for $1, and while I was waiting. And I'm going to take that 30 minutes with my buddy, Matt Faircloth. Thankfully, I need 30 minutes anyway. So that's
you can have 30 minutes anytime you want.
You know what, Josh? I'll go on for you right now.
By the way, I want to tell you what Erik and I figured out the other day. This is for all of you listening. How many? There's more and more listening now. Please, this is what Matt and Justin really appreciate, just like Erik and I. If you are so inclined, please do a watch party on your page.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
So you got to do is click. You're in Facebook, right? Just click watch party. Say something nice about Matt and Justin.
Wonderful idea.
God bless America. You can help. You can help your friends.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate
you're explaining to us how to do that, because you asked me to have a watch party for something else y'all were doing. You two were doing this week, and I didn't know how to do it. I was embarrassed to turn myself in.
Let me see. I think I'm doing it right now.
I think all you have to do is hit share, and you say, "Oh, Erik started a watch party. Very good."
There you go.
Yeah, you just hit share, and it says create a watch party. Yeah.
Shadow, it's $1. The first month's $1. Steve Chatto wants to know, is there a coupon code for the insiders group? Just Steve, just text DeRosa, the word, to 6866, and you will get a coupon code to join for $1.
Can I just highlight how DeRosa Insiders, for all the fans and all the listeners and all the people that love and adore Matt and Justin, it was long overdue.
Test.
Long overdue. Yeah. Thank you for finally pulling the trigger. I know it's been in the talks and in the works for a long time, and people are going to benefit and love, and I'm sure already are, all the value and all the wonderful. Oh, hey, thank you very much. All the wonderful value and having access. That was one of the main things when I got into investing a few years ago when I first met Matt. Getting access to Matt and just getting the knowledge, especially when you're starting out, of someone like Matt in your circle that you can just throw deals over to and say, hey, how should I do this? Or why should I do this? And should I? It's just tremendous value. You can't even, $1, that's ridiculous. It should. For you, Josh, that's ridiculous.
$1. Yeah.
Oh, you remember at the end of our show, Erik, when my favorite thing it was your commercial. Oh, it was your commercial for Anchor.
That's ridiculous.
That's 100% free. It's 100% ridiculous. That was Erik's best commercial ever. And guess who it was awesome for, Erik, Matt, and Justin? It wasn't for you. Oh, it was for Anchor Podcast Company.
Wow.
It was his best commercial of his life. He nailed it like a pro, and it was Anchor.
Anchor.
Amen.
Anchor.
I still don't forget. I haven't forgiven
somebody else's podcast.
But that deal is 100% ridiculous, Matt.
That's giving right there.
Yes.
That's giving.
Hey, so, you know what? We deliver enough value that if you try it out for $1 and you don't like it, that's fine. We try to make the barrier like nothing, and we think most people are going to renew and want to stick around because there's so much value happening over there.
Cool. And by the way, that's a banging logo. I love it.
It is. It is. Well, I think that's a nice segue to maybe introduce who the heck you two are and talk about why we're all here. Well, first, we're all friends, so that's why we're here. Number one, we want to have our friends on the show.
This is gonna be fun. Just four good friends sitting together here. But for those that don't know, we know who you guys are. But for those that don't know who you guys are, why don't you brag on yourselves a little bit and just tell the world, everybody's watching, how awesome you guys are, and why does the world need to know who Erik Cabral and Josh McCallen are, and maybe even your capital hacking show, because Josh has got his cool tech with his logo and all that back there, and also
I gotta hear you guys say it. It make me feel better if
all right, I'll do it. Okay. So I met Erik Cabral about I want to say about 3 years ago.
3 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, about 3 years ago. Through through some RIA clubs that we interacted through and everything like that. Like a lot of business partnerships that I've been in, we became friends first. And then business colleagues once we had developed a level of trust and friendship in that. And I view Erik to be one of the most creative folks that kind of has, I mean, he's the visionary of visionaries. There's a book called Traction that you should all read. And Traction talks about the visionary of a business, which is the person that kind of sits with the binoculars on, looking all the way out here, deciding where the ship needs to go, and seeing things that don't exist just yet. Erik is that visionary in the marketing world. I've learned a lot about how to get noticed and how to create a brand and how to, what a brand is. I thought I knew what a brand was, but after talking to Erik, I really got what branding is about. Erik's a big student of Gary Vaynerchuk, so am I. So we had that in common, and I've learned a ton from Erik. And Erik's got some phenomenal vehicles out there for people to learn about, such as podcasting. So if you either want to be on or have your own podcast, Erik is the guy to talk to. He's got some great vehicles that people can he's able to hand you the megaphone that we all need right now, especially during COVID-19. Because if you don't have a megaphone, you're not going to get heard. And Erik has the ability to build and hand you the megaphone that you need to get heard in the world, to get your message out, make sure people see you. Because it's hard to get seen right now. We all know that. But Erik's getting seen, and I'm getting seen from the coaching that he's taught me on how to do it. So I commend Erik for your coaching and your friendship. And people, I don't know where you want to direct traffic. So people want to hear more about you and your marketing arm and Podmax and all the phenomenal stuff you're up to, including some cool stuff that you and I aren't ready to release yet. Next level stuff. How do people hear about? Where do people go to hear about you?
First, thank you for that. That's an insanely.
From the heart, man.
Very humble and grateful for you. And I think I was on a show recently. I was like, "Oh yeah, my best friend," and I was like, "Wait, did I just call him that?" I never even validated or checked in with him on that one. But yeah, I really consider us friends first and foremost before business partners. But no, thank you for all that. But yeah, dude, it's. I don't even need to endorse anything. I just want to be here with you guys. It's been so long. I miss the heck out of you guys. Obviously, Josh and I have Capital Hacking. Justin is a business partner in On Air Brands. He's helped me to build and create that from the ground up. So yeah, we're all here. We're all helping each other grow. And I miss being in the room together, like just being able to go over and knock on the door and have lunch together. Just like nothing on Calendly, nothing, planned. Now it's like I can't even talk to Justin. I'm like, dude, let's talk after the meeting. Because we have meetings every day. Yeah. And I'll call you later. Matt's calling me. And then a week goes by. Yeah. So it's just crazy that the physical aspect of our businesses and our lives that we became so accustomed to, it's kind of gone now. And this is where this comes in. Makes me feel like, wow, all the relationships that we've built and the bonds that we've built over time, creates this now, because then I have a different level of emotion versus somebody else that I don't really know at that level. So cheers to you guys, and
cheers to you.
Thank you for being part of my world.
Erik, you are so good. By the way, you broke up at the beginning, but now you came in strong. Now that you're drinking some Renault wine.
Erik, can you introduce the Josh McCallen, please?
Oh, geez, I love this guy.
Oh, Daisy Chain.
Yeah, this guy's amazing. Yeah, any one of you guys, I'll be your hype man whenever you're. There's too many sixes.
I can flash it.
There you go.
Thank you, Josh. Josh is always looking out for us.
I love that. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah. Josh,
I'm gonna get a tattoo on my arm here, so I can, if I go to podcast, I can just put my arm up and it'll.
There you go.
Look at you, man. Well, you gotta cut your sleeves off. I get to see the inside Justin when he's sleeveless.
Oh yeah. That's in the mornings. In the mornings, I don't have sleeves. These guys know that. Yeah, no sleeves in the morning.
Yeah, you get the gun show and you get Justin before.
Yeah, I'm like, we have ladies on the team. Put them away. Yeah, put them away.
Right.
They're loving it. They love it. That's all I can say.
They're getting the gun show for breakfast.
What are you carrying around there? Yes, anyway, back to introducing Josh McCallen.
Let's talk about this guy right here.
Let's talk about let's Brady Bunch. He's in this direction for me. Yeah.
Oh, is he really?
So Josh McCallen, how do we describe him, Matt? Because we sort of met him at the same time. He came to see you speak, this all works out. Justin decided to take vacation.
It's cool.
One day he took vacation, and I was running and emceeing our event in Princeton, and Matt was talking, and I introduced him to the crowd, and McCallen was in the audience. He couldn't wait to meet Matt, but even better, he got a chance to meet me.
We met. McCallen came to my office the first time that we met, and he was just this spunky guy that called me, and it was just, wouldn't take no for an answer. And he was like, "I want a meeting." And I was like, "All right, well, sounds like you're excited. Let's do a meeting." So we come in with a meeting, and we're just all excited. And he's like going to buy this winery, and he's going to take over the universe and everything like that. And I'm like, this guy, And then I was like, all right, let's see if what I have learned in life is that if when people come and ask you for your time or for so like a major commitment from you, whatever it is, I like to put out tests. And so tests can be something stupid. It can be just, okay, hey, listen, I can't make it. I can't meet you this week. Can you call me next week to set up an appointment? That's a test, because sometimes they'll forget. Sometimes they'll something else. They'll chase some other shiny nickel, and they're not going to call you back. But if they pass the simple, put it in their calendar to call you next week test, then maybe they're legit. So a test that I gave Josh was, hey, I'm speaking at this event in a week, and why don't you come out to the event? And he was there with bells on, and he came to the event, and he kept just like meeting people that I respected, and they all loved him. And I'm like, God, this guy's awesome. So I learned to take Josh McCallen seriously pretty quickly after meeting him.
By the way, Melanie was there, Matt. Melanie loved that night. She actually remembers why I liked Erik too.
Yeah. So anyway, back to your introduction. I think
it's great because it adds the whole linear, all the breadcrumbs to how we met this guy.
Yeah.
So then we met him, and
I had him first. Just letting you know.
You met him first, so you own it. And he made an impression on us, right? Because we were talking about him a lot after that, and then he invited us to come to check out this winery that he had access to. Right? He was negotiating, and Matt and I took a drive down there. And we saw the project. We were floored by it. We had a ton of questions. And I'll never forget the drive home. We said, dude, we looked at each other at the exact same time. We're like, is he for real? Like, is he doing that? Is he doing everything he wants to do? Like, oh my God. And as we got to know you, we were like, this guy's Walt Disney for this project specifically. He's the only guy that can kill this. He's the only guy that can completely do exactly what he wants to do in this.
That I really was like sold on the Josh McCallen Club was that day that I drove down to Renault with you.
McCallen Kool-Aid, we kept calling it.
Yeah, I could smell it. I saw it sitting within the club. Do I really want to drink that stuff? I don't know. And then I went to Renault with you and saw that phenomenal property. Not so much, it wasn't phenomenal at the time, but I saw Josh paint his picture, and I was like, I get it. I see what he could do here. Yeah. And I was like, how much are you going to buy this place for? He told me the number of what he had under contract for. And I'm like, for real? And you're going to pretty much pay that much again in investment, and this can be worth this. And I saw it. And that's why you and I just were so excited the whole way home. And that's when I was in.
Yeah. Can I share with people a tactic that Matt uses that maybe not a lot of insiders know yet?
Ooh,
but as we were driving, first of all, use your friends as a chauffeur. How about that one? Because Justin and I drive Matt around so he can do
Matt
business.
has perfected it.
I'm the worst with that.
Have you ever driven to North?
If you get to know me well enough to drive somewhere.
Oh my God.
Yeah, if you get to know me well enough and we drive anywhere, I'll ask you to drive so I can do stuff.
Oh, but the thing is, I learned a ton just listening to you on the phone.
It's true.
Watching you work your phone like a wizard, because I don't like voice to text, but you make fun of yourself for not knowing technology and watch parties, silly watch parties, whatever. But you've mastered voice to text, because you created notes during our conversation. We go, oh, what about a cigar bar? What about doing this in the speakeasy? What about and we were having ideas flowing, and you were keeping up. I go and saying it, capturing the conversation. And before the ride was over, Josh, we sent you a Google document.
We had our notes. Here's our notes. There you go. Yeah.
during the drive. And then
fun.
Josh thought we were for real, right? He was like, "Oh, these guys are taking it seriously."
What do you guys have time to do this?
Yeah. But anyway,
it was impressive.
Anyway,
it was
so
very impressive.
weeks and weeks go by seeing Josh. He came over my house. He came into business. He came, talk to me. And you painted the picture of who you were, your past, your present, your future. And once we understood it all, it was like, yeah, this guy's part of the tribe, man. We gotta get him in.
Bring him in.
Bring him in, man. Bring him in.
Right.
It's awesome.
Well, geez, goodness gracious. I thought that was like an Irish pub introduction, right? Because you guys had to keep energy to keep coming back to your own pitch, right? So I'm really impressed. Like you never lost track of the train of content.
It's a good story there. There's a very good
I love
story.
it. Thank you very much,
It was
guys.
a story, but it wasn't the accolades. It wasn't the resume. Josh
No.
An
I
amazing
think you guys are
Feeling. It's really a feeling, right?
back to drinking, even though sadly, Matt, so regrettable you and I are stopped for a while. I
Only
am.
till next Friday.
Next week, Matt commits. Next Friday.
I'm gonna get
By the way, we're going to be hitting this again next Friday.
Yeah.
Matt will have a drink in hand. He's committed.
You better believe it. Yeah.
But tell us what you were going after there, John.
We got a few shout outs here. I want to give a shout out to Cristiane Giannino. I got Steve Chatto on the horn here, Stacey Parrish. These folks are just here, loyal people just watching. Got Jordan Fraser, Mark Alberto. What's up, man? Mark Alberto is I believe a Renault owner, and also a Insiders member, and also involved in a project we're up to in Trenton. So super grateful to have you there. And that. So just a few shout outs to everybody. To welcome.
Leave comments, everyone. Leave some comments. Let us know you're here. Let us know you're watching.
Facebook and YouTube.
Say
we see all you guys. We're grateful you guys are here. So thanks for coming out.
Not only thank you, but is there any way, Mr. Alberto, that I could ask you to do a watch party? I know that's asking a lot. But if you wouldn't mind,
you're the best.
If you wouldn't mind, just push.
I'm partnered with these guys.
These guys are awesome.
They help. It helps so much. Help.
Give us some hearts and stars and likes. I'm just going
to chat with Chatto. I got chat with Chatto there.
I'm just going to.
If you guys are watchers of the YouTube page from a couple of years ago, this guy. Wow, the bourbon's dry, so the Renault is going, man.
Opening up next week.
Justin at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Awesome.
Do not
love
do
it.
That.
Do not. I will not answer. You
can call.
Cool. So Steve Chatto is one of our YouTubers on the DeRosa Group YouTube page. Some of those might not know that, but he did a series on the YouTube called Chats with Chatto that I still get comments on because Steve taught a lot of folks how to properly navigate the wholesale world. And to hear a lot of Chats with Chatto, just go to DeRosaGroup.com or YouTube.com/DeRosa Group. And you can see a lot of Steve's Chats with Chatto that still live out there. Some of them have a ton of views. Thank you, Steve, for your contributions and your education of the real estate world. We will need you on a happy hour very soon. Have to bring you. We should either do a wholesale happy hour or a Chatto and some of my old stomping ground buddies to get them on here and have them just come break my balls for an hour.
Good time.
They'll do that. So cool. And Mark Alberto is awesome. Thanks for being here.
Chatto's one of those guys, man. He's a genuine, authentic, just wants to love on people. I'll never forget one of the early days that I met Chatto. We were at an SJ RIA meeting, and there's always one of those folks in the crowd in the network that loves to talk, and they can corner you for hours if you let them. Chatto let this guy talk his ear off, and the whole time I was thinking, man, I should go in there and save Chatto. 2 hours later, no joke, it probably was 11 o'clock at night.
Remember that? Yeah.
Chatto was still talking, and I went over, and the guy finally left. I said, dude, I'm sorry, man. I was gonna come and help you out. He was like, no, man, and he was genuine. He's like, no, that guy, this, and I was helping him with that, and I learned a thing here and there, and I was like, man, this guy's for real, man. If anybody knows or have ever met Steve, you should know him if you don't know him because he's here to help. Yeah.
Steve and I did a wholesale deal together. The only wholesale I ever did because I had no idea how to do one, but I had someone wanted to sell their house. And so I called Steve and said, hey, I don't know what to do, but I have a house. and he coached me through it, and then he found the buyer, and we split some money on it. It was great. Thank you, Steve. I still remember that. I think I made like $3,000. I'll take it.
That's awesome. Yeah. I've made some money on wholesales with Steve before. Back in the day, back before I knew you guys, Steve and a few other guys. I think Steve was in the building recently, but Steve was a member of 354 South Broad. And I just moved out for other, not because it wasn't working, but because just he had outgrown the space. His business was changing directions. He was getting into a new partnership and everything like that. So he was a part of 354, but he was one of those guys that I always used to love to have around. And I looked forward to having like a break in work so I could go and talk to Steve for a little bit and the other guys I had in the building, which I have now. I have you guys in that. And it's just like you guys are like a welcome distraction of like, let me go take 15 minutes and get a coffee and chat with Erik because I know he's in his office. So let me go and just talk about something awesome and talk about some great idea. So sure. Dustin, that number is 668-66. 668-66. So Dustin, just text the word DeRosa, DEROSA, DeRosa to 668-66, and you can join us for $1. $1 at Insiders for the first month. The first month's $1, and I think it's like $20, $25.
Right now it's $24. Right now it's $24, but it's when we get to a certain limit, we're going to ump it because it's more valuable the bigger the community is. So
it's crazy value that
for
you
now
get.
It's half price. Yeah,
but come on in.
Grandfathered in if you buy now.
Absolutely, grandfather.
Woo!
The early adopters, they're the winners,
baby.
right?
That's
So
where
we
it
just
pays
launched
off.
this, guys. We just launched this a month ago. April 1st was our big grand unveiling, and so as soon as we hit a certain number of participants, we're gonna double the price because why not? Because it's certainly worth way more than that, and so that's the idea behind it. But
by the way, are you guys seeing these comments from Steve and Shadow about that being a hoarder's house?
Yeah. So the house that Steve and I that he helped me out with, we wholesale.
You got any pictures?
Oh my God, I got pictures and video, and that's a whole nother thing. But
Show
it was
it.
like,
What the hell, man? Show it. You got it?
Yeah, let me see if I can pull it up.
I'll just me and Erik and Josh will hold down the fort.
Guys, I've never seen such a house. This house was one that
All right. Shadow's stay on. Shadow, stay on. We're going to try and pull up some pictures of that house.
Hey, Shadow, I'm on my Facebook page trying to comment on you, and you're not. I'm on my watch party. Go over to my watch party for a minute and make a comment.
Have separate watch parties.
Yeah,
bounce to watch party.
No, I don't want my watch party.
Why don't we let Josh talk about Renault a little bit? Because I want to hear. I'm curious, like what's happening at Renault? What's going on, man? I want to know.
Let me. I want to know about Renault. I think it's what I think about Renault while you're looking for those picks is Josh, can you for those that don't know about it, can you tell the brief story of the site, wherever you want to get into the story, the site, the history? There's so much richness to Renault. It's always just interesting to hear stuff about it. So can you give us a quick, just something?
I will. Yeah, I will do that. And by the way, just thank you. All of us are actual live partners in the project. So it's just a pleasure to be with you guys. And we have so many other wonderful people that are part of the property. So everybody, thank you so much. Real quick, the property is, you guys call it a winery because it's historically been the third oldest winery in American history. But today it's really a robust resort. So I'm more of a resort turnaround guru kind of guy, thank God, humbly saying that, where we go in and try to work on business turnaround and operational change and physical change. So when we found this, it was a home run because now you might say, but it was ugly and it was beat up and it was 156 years old and some of the buildings didn't look so great. You would have been right. And I would have said to you, despite all that, it had at that time had 800 women call and ask for a wedding each year. And that was just an unprecedented number of ladies asking for weddings. And so what I did is I reverse engineered it. And this is why Matt and I talked. I said, well, if 800 are calling and you take the national average of closing and you spend money next year, you get more than 800 even. The math works right away. It doesn't work day one, but it works right after you finish construction. And then it becomes exponentially better in year 3, 4, and 5. So I said, you guys, we know how to do this. This is what we are. We're hospitality turnaround people. This just happens to be a historic winery. Well, anyway, that being said, you guys were grateful. I was so super grateful you came to look at it. Came to learn that we had done it 3 other times at previous resort partnerships. And now we wanted to spend the rest of our life working with good people like you guys, technically you guys, and anybody else who wants to be our partner, to do this 100 times. I'm not trying to do it 100 times this week, but we will do it 100 times. And you know how you know you can do it 100 times? Is because first of all, you build it on purpose. This is not our first rodeo from any of us, right? And when we went to build this business, we knew Renault was a hell of an asset, and it is. But we also knew that you had to build it with intentionality. So we build it with a cultural basis called Viva May. We're never going to do hospitality unless we do it for the love of our guest. And we have a whole way of doing that. And we said, and we're not going to raise money as an afterthought. We're going to raise money intentionally. And I actually was inspired by my boy right there, Matt Faircloth, right there. And as a matter of fact, Matt Faircloth, 2 big compliments, maybe 3. Number 1, every time I'm on Capital Hacking, we are contractually obliged to support and recommend reading Raising Private Capital by Matt Faircloth of Bigger Pockets. Matt, I think we're 50-50 on this one. Like of 110 shows, I think we've almost always done it, but at least 50%. And then we go over this whole long thing about how much we love you, and we hold the picture up. So I know 15% of the sales are because of
copy of it sitting across from me here.
There you go.
So anyway,
brother.
when we were watching Matt, we saw that you built the DeRosa Group. I also knew a couple other gentlemen in your business, and I said, you know what's great about the way Matt's doing it? He's doing it for transforming lives. So watch this. We do hospitality where we sell you a cheeseburger or a beautiful bottle of wine because we want you to feel loved. Not just because we're good at making cheeseburgers and making wine. We want you to feel loved. So when Matt is doing his videos and I'm watching the guy, I'm like, this is the right guy to call. Mm-hmm. He's right. He's making videos as he's driving, which is a cool little technique. I thought that was good. And he's saying things like, you know why I love real estate? Because of what it does for families. And then he went into this whole explanation about the real estate as a means to show his mission in life. And that was like, that's exactly what I do. I mean, that's what I want to do more of, that focus on the end good. The medium to get there is, in your case, is real estate acquisitions and fundraising. But your goal is transforming lives. So anyway, I said, this is the guy I need to learn from. I'll pay him for coaching, whatever it takes. And that's why I pursued you like a dirty dog.
I think we all have a version of that
me
story,
for
by the
coaching. I'm
way.
glad I decided to partner with you. But go ahead.
Yeah, we ended up partnering.
I was going to say, I think we all have a version of like being inspired by Matt and wanting to just be in his circle and doing what we could. And now we're all partners in some way or another. So look
by the way,
is
that kind of what DeRosa Group Insiders is?
It's kind of what Insiders is.
Exactly what it is.
Is that kind of what the whole thing you built is?
Wow. You know,
that's weird.
I think we got to bring Josh in as sales consultant for us. Holy God.
all the tech and graphics. You got this. You got a loose leaf notepad.
I love it. You know what? It's
that easy?
Boom.
Text that?
This is easy. Hey guys, I want to highlight something amazing and we need to do more of. I mean, this is great, and this is a taste of it. But I just recently listened to a new podcast that we're launching. It's called the Podmax Podcast, and the first episode. No, but this is for real. When it comes out, Matt, you're gonna love the listeners are gonna freaking love this episode because first off, it was at the end of a night when we were all busting our butts and having fun while doing it at a Podmax event, the first one, and then we all got on stage, a little lit and a few cocktails. Cocktails. Matt may have dropped a few.
Little truth serum in us.
Yeah, truth serum, F-bombs, MF-bombs. Like, we didn't edit it because I knew that my crew here would get upset if we started.
We were talking about Roseanne Barr and all that kind of stuff. We had a great conversation.
It's going to come out soon. I don't know the exact date, but very soon we're going to launch it. And the first episode that's coming out is that one.
It's like unearthing these old recordings that everyone's forgotten about. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, you're going to get to revisit it. It's like taken out of the archives, and it is so funny. Like,
so where can we hear that, Erik?
It's coming out. It's gonna be on iTunes and Spotify and all that stuff.
What's
Just
the
look
podcast
for the Podmax.
name?
It's called Podmax. It's just the Podmax Podcast.
What is Podmax?
Oh, jeez. Okay. So we'll just do it. Anyone who knows, anyone who loves us.
Wait, are you drinking water, Justin? Hang on, time the
I
frick out,
I
man.
finished my bourbon, man.
Could you
You
refill?
had a bottle of wine in your other hand. You were
do.
two-fisting 10 seconds ago.
I don't have an opener. This is
doesn't
all,
have an opener.
I'm pretending. I don't have an opener. I gotta go.
I
get it.
had a Renault bottle of.
Clean if you're
What
watching.
a
Give me an
poser.
opener.
Justin, Josh is gonna go get you a bottle opener.
You're
You
gonna-
go bring it.
gonna,
Go
like,
bring it out to
Send it-
Jackson.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
I had a Pink Lady Renault bottle, and I was like, I'm gonna get ribbed for that one. People are gonna make fun of me if I crack that one open.
Tell us about Podmax.
In a second I will, because I want Matt to make fun of me for this one. Look what I have
Please
here.
do.
Matt loves to call me bougie, and this is
You are.
exactly why he does call me bougie. You see this, Matt?
Oh,
You know what this is?
narrator.
I got one, man.
Oh,
I'm bougie. Hey, just so you know, it takes you to know one.
What's
I'm,
going on, Ross?
What's
I'm a
this?
little bougie
Oh my
too.
goodness!
To
Hello.
let you know. I'm
Oh,
a
now
little
it's
bougie.
party.
Oh my god. What is this? Howard Stern in the house? What is this?
We got Josh Marley in the house.
What's up, dog?
Are you
No,
serious?
listen, you should see Matt when he goes party. So if it's happy hour, baby, the mullet's coming in.
Is that business in the front, party in the back?
There you go.
Wow.
Wow.
Look good, man.
Play hard.
Looking good, man.
Look at man, the quarantine hasn't been good to you, man.
Looking
You're
like
Oh,
someone
it's
who's dealing
pretty
with
good.
10 little ones at home. Oh,
Oh,
my
those are-
goodness.
It's actually not. It's not showing up as well as it should.
the
Man,
background.
it's
Yeah.
impressive. It's an impressive wig.
That's amazing. It's amazing.
It's really good. It's solid.
It's good. So that Podmax podcast that's coming out, be on the lookout. We're gonna send it out. We're gonna blast it out to everyone. You got to hear it. Matt says some stuff within the first 30 seconds that I'm like, oh my god, are we gonna air this? We air it. We're airing it. And but the cool thing is, it's an event that was live, which we missed to death. Right now, we returned to virtual. We launched a new virtual version, so check it out. It's podmax.co. That's all I'm going to say about it. It's really amazing. Oh, but check it out. Wait, one thing. We have VaynerX Media, president of Sasha Group, coming to the event. He's our main keynote speaker, James Orsini. So if you love Gary Vee and you love the Sasha Group and VaynerX, he's there. He's going to be there. He's going to, and what they do is they help to grow small to mid-sized businesses. Did you
Big
know that?
time.
Yeah.
Big.
It's gonna be a virtual event, right?
It's going to be a virtual event, and he's going to be
No social distancing worries, no COVID-19 worries,
All
man.
virtual.
It's all gonna be online.
all online, all with the brand that you know and love that, gives you opportunities to chat to amazing people like this, and then listen to amazing keynotes and panel discussions. So,
Hey man, did you see that my Facebook post the other day that I went for? I was inspired by Jason Urisi to go for a run.
that was crazy.
And I was like, I got it. Yeah, I saw Josh did a
Crazy.
watch. Josh is like Johnny Watch Party over there. So
Hey,
Josh
what?
is a watch. Yeah,
What?
right.
He's amazing.
What?
He's
It's like a
supporting
gig, man. It's like a gig from the 80s, dude. Dude, come on, man. What's up? What? Just because I like watch parties? Come on, man.
What happened to Josh? And all of
Johnny
a sudden,
Watch Party over here. That's my new name.
That's amazing.
You need a watch party.
Right.
We all need watch.
I wanted to finish the point before we get back to Howard Stern down there.
I don't even know where I'm going with this.
I went for the
Am I
run.
taking a screenshot here?
Inspired by Jason Urisi to do it, and on the run, I hear Peely and Jason on Tea with Gary
That's
Vee.
unfathomable.
It's
Isn't that
really
crazy?
great. Really
Yeah.
cool to see them
You're
up there.
awesome. Gary
Yeah.
Vaynerchuk's a giving human being, man. I mean, I get he's doing his thing and marketing and pushing the wine library and all that stuff in between and all that. But I really love how giving of himself he is to people with that Tea with Gary Vee. Because he lets people just call in and pick his brain. I mean, it's awesome.
And he's just dropping knowledge. You know what it feels like to me? It feels like watching old school Jeopardy to me. I remember sitting there and watching Jeopardy with my dad, and I knew none of the answers. And now as I've gotten older, it's all relevant to me now, so I know the answers. But when Gary Vee gives advice, I'm like, oh, that's gold right there. And every once in a while, he'll say something to someone that I was going to say or I was already thinking. I'm like, oh, hey, look, I would have given Gary Vee type of advice. It's pretty cool because it's validation that if you're doing something that's in the Vayner sort of mindset, then you're doing it right, because that guy is just absolutely amazing, especially with this new Tea with Gary Vee. Who knew that
So
would be-
good.
whew, so good, yeah.
All you need is a little rhyme, man. It just puts it together, right?
I know.
Branding, baby. Branding,
All you
baby.
need. That's all you need.
Yeah. I just want to shout out to a few people watching on Facebook. We've got Jim Wilcock, Ryan Stahl, a few DeRosa insiders. Liz Faircloth, shout out to you. Thanks for joining us. Stacey Parrish,
Hi, baby.
Pavel, Dawn.
He's probably
Dawn joining us from North Carolina. Hope you're doing well down there, Dawn. Umang.
Hey, Don B. What's up?
Umang.
Got to catch up with you soon, too, buddy.
Yeah.
Pavel's on there. Kathleen, nice to see you. Honey, I'll be down soon. Thanks for watching those kids. But you're watching us, too, so I guess they're doing okay. I don't know.
Yeah, they're okay.
Yeah, so we got a lot of Facebook activity. If you guys want to just leave us a chat or a comment, we want to chat. Pavel says Matt learned a few Russian words on that podcast, and I believe that's true.
I did. He taught me that.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, where are you seeing all those great people? Because I want to go say hi to those people.
Oh, they're on Facebook. I'm on Matt's Facebook page.
Him as a person.
Him as a person.
By the way, I'm watching the Michael Jordan special. Who's watching the Michael Jordan?
Oh, that's so good.
Okay. Are the commercials cracking you up that it's sponsored by, quote, the Facebook company?
Have you seen weird, right? The Facebook? Like, I thought Justin Timberlake told them to get rid of the. Isn't that the whole point of that
Social Network, the movie?
Yeah.
I know.
He was like, get rid of the, right? They made a whole point. What happened?
Did you say Justin Timberlake told him?
Yeah, he did. It's the truth.
Isn't that what happened? Isn't that
Eric? How did you not know
accurate?
that, man? How did you not know that? I totally agree.
I didn't know Justin Timberlake was an investor of Facebook.
No, I saw it in TV. It was good.
Yeah,
it must be true. It has to be true.
It's totally Justin Timberlake.
Absolutely.
It definitely was Justin Timberlake.
Hey, man, you've got an opportunity here, guys, to turn the ship around. You know, the DeRosa Insiders.
The DeRosa Insiders. Can you fit that in our logo there, Eric, or what?
Yeah, there's plenty of space.
I agree, Josh. It is off-putting because it's so weird that they're calling it the Facebook. I don't understand it.
And it's scary that they're doing advertising. So like TV has so little things going for it. The one thing it's got going for right now, MJ, and they're screwing them there.
Oh my God, how good is that documentary though? Oh my
we like it. We like it here. I mean,
what documentary is this? I had a mic issue. If you guys didn't know,
the documentary, The
Which
Last
one?
Dance, the Michael Jordan one.
What is it? Netflix?
No, it's on ESPN, I think. And it's been coming out like 1 or 2 episodes a week for the last few weeks, and it's really well done. It's really an inside look, if you will, at Jordan and the Bulls and their dominant era, and just everything that happened. And they recorded like 97, I think. They had cameras following them around, and like I don't know if they've released most of that footage before. So it really, 20 plus years later, they're putting it out. It's amazing, really good stuff.
Do you guys follow? I don't follow pro basketball as much, but I've gotten in on some of the debates of comparing MJ to LeBron.
That's a worthy cocktail hour discussion.
It is an interesting conversation, but I mean, I think that I don't believe there's a comparison. I think MJ just, and again, I'm dating myself because LeBron is the Michael Jordan of today, right? Michael Jordan was the Michael Jordan of our generation, and go back further, just guys like Magic Johnson or before that, Wilt Chamberlain, whatever, that were the whatever of earlier times. Now, obviously, you can't put all these guys on a court and make them play together. But I don't know. You cannot compare Michael Jordan to anybody. I just think that he's just in his own league, and there's just nobody you can put at that level.
Basketball was different then too. It was way grittier. It wasn't a 3-point video game type of basketball, structure. Whereas like LeBron is growing up, or he's come up in a totally different sort of game. And also, not only that, they don't play the same their bodies are completely like he's a beast. Like
compared to them,
LeBron is a machine. If you've seen that guy in person, like he's a tank. Whereas not that Jordan wasn't, but if you put them side by side, he's smaller. He's a smaller guy. Yeah. So it's. I mean, of course, the greatest of all time, or I've learned recently, right? The GOAT, whatever is who is it? It's a debate, right?
No, it's Michael Jordan. Actually, on the NBA official website, it says Michael Jordan, the greatest player of all time.
Did you see this today or yesterday?
A New Legacy. That's actually
Space Jam 2.
Yeah, it's probably going to be just as bad as the first one.
You mean
how could that be any worse than the first one? I mean, the first one was awful.
What? He's not an actor.
It's amazing. Are you
Neither
kidding
is
me?
Michael
Space
Jordan.
Jam is
Neither
like
one of those
the best
guys are
movies
actors.
ever.
Just
Get
because
outta
you're good athletes does not make them good at everything.
Yeah.
You know,
So good.
I mean,
Get out of here. I disagree with all of you. I love Space Jam.
All right, so
love
real
Space
quick
Jam.
to vote on
Awesome.
this, because all of us get a vote. I
that
think
makes one in the world.
Yeah, let's vote.
Matt
the GOAT?
said we're allowed to all vote.
Okay.
I would actually say that MJ modeled a new type of leader, and what happened was he went from being this all-star, he could do it all himself, 60 points a game, to he recognized I'm screwed unless everybody on my team gets better, so I'm going to do that.
Yes.
And I think LeBron picked that out of Michael's portfolio of talent early, like when he was 20.
Mm-hmm.
And LeBron, here's what I say about LeBron. People really dog on LeBron, but he wills his team to be better. And it's hard to think of a guy who's more gifted in the sport and works harder and cares more, like Michael did. You know what I mean? I mean, here's the other thing I'll give to Mr. LeBron. And I have to give him a little bit of an edge on certain things over Michael. He started when he was 18. So my point is the mind-bending reality that he went through at 18, being one of the richest guys, you know, playing the game, the most famous, becoming an all-star at 18 or 19. How the heck do you get through that with a level head? I mean, if it happened to you today and you were the number one player next week, Erik, I promise you, Erik Cabral, if he found Michael Jordan's sneakers on a wire and when he put them on, he had powers and he went out and became an NBA star, he wouldn't even talk to the three of us. Because Erik would just not even talk. He wouldn't even call us. But think about LeBron. That happened to him at 18.
I don't agree.
I give LeBron tremendous respect, and I think he metamorphosized even through that whole silly thing he did in Miami. But when he won for Cleveland, that championship, were you guys paying attention? That was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Dude, I cried with him. Because remember that? He was like down like 0-3 in the finals, and he won the championship for his team in Cleveland. All right, that's enough LeBron. I loved his effort, man.
The thing is, not to take it away.
MJ pulled plenty of rabbits out of his hat too. So, but yeah, this is one of those age-old debates that just unless we put ourselves up a time machine, there's just no way to settle it. But it sure is a great conversation.
I will say, I do think we all have recency bias. And so I think, LeBron is great. MJ is great. We always tend to say the thing we just saw was the greatest moment ever, right? But then when you actually, I think if you could really compare the feeling that you had with watching Jordan, watching LeBron, might be a lot closer than people think. But I do think that any case, people usually think the thing I just saw is better.
Last vote. Watching Michael definitely changed. It was way more powerful for me than watching LeBron. I mean, I think Michael always looked like he was in charge of every situation. He could win this game. LeBron does seem normal sometimes. So therefore I give Michael a
He's been less consistent than Jordan was, I think. I mean, that's what I give Jordan, is that he just seemed larger than life and just was just more consistent on his wins when in clutch moments. You know, I believe LeBron's lost championships, right?
Oh man,
yeah. I don't believe Jordan ever did. You know, I mean, if it was, it wasn't that many. But hey, more to talk over, more drinks and everything like that. So.
I don't think any of us are basketball experts. Maybe Erik.
I don't watch anymore since the Knicks.
Erik is from the hood in New York. That is true, everybody.
The Knicks are such an embarrassment. I just it's hard to be a basketball fan, so I had to leave just because of my emotion and I get too involved. But I want to leave with this Michael Jordan. So because of the different eras, Michael Jordan, I imagine, would never have done some of the things. It's questionable some of the things LeBron did, like when he went to Miami, when he left his team, and then he treated it like a circus. Like Jordan stayed true and loyal to the Chicago franchise. Whereas, and I get it, it's a different era. And LeBron bounced around. I mean, they all do it now. But yeah, he sort of kicked it off. Like there's no loyalty. So there's a lot of weird things that happened with LeBron that would never.
Jordan was less of a showman than LeBron was, and less into like the sizzle. But I think that to get going back to branding, that to get attention right now, you need to have sizzle and stand out and everything like that. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, Jordan's got he was one of the first guys to have shoes named after him. All right. So now they all do.
I mean, he changed the industry. Right?
He
Changed the
did,
whole shoe industry.
but he didn't need to be Mr. Flashy. He didn't need to be loudmouth or whatever it was. I don't remember him running his mouth very much, or just doing branding moves just to get attention or whatever it was. I just remember him being a great leader and a great basketball player, and that was enough to put his name on a shoe. Maybe that's not enough these days. Maybe the world's changed, and LeBron needs to be who he is to be LeBron in today's world.
Right? Yeah, it is a good debate, and you can link it all to business and brand and how we sort of mimic or don't follow what they're doing. But yeah, it's all about for us anyway. I believe always being consistent with what we're putting out there. And I've always felt like LeBron's been a little inconsistent. I'm not taking anything away from his game. His game is dope. He's the guy just is amazing to watch, but not like MJ. MJ every single night put it all on the floor. And I remember hearing him say, I'll never forget. He actually said, the reason I do that is because I never know if there's somebody out there, one person that has never watched me play before.
Yeah, that is something that came up in this series.
Yeah,
and that is compelling.
First episode out, they mentioned that.
Oh, okay. I got to go and watch that.
Eric,
now.
you'll love this thing. You gotta watch it.
Speaking of shows to watch, thank you, Matt, and no thank you, Matt. Matt, how dare you introduce Ozark to me? Because the last time I saw you physically,
that is
like,
gold.
You were like, you liked Tiger King? Why don't you need to watch Ozark? And I was like, why? And you're like, did you like Breaking Bad? I was like, yes. He's like, do you like being an entrepreneur?
Ozark is banging.
I binged on it.
What season are you guys in?
I'm done season 3. I'm done. I'm as far as you can go.
I got stuck in the middle of one, but my brother always calls me that guy. What's that guy's name? The lead actor?
Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman from what's the other?
Arrested Development.
Arrested Development. He always
Silver
says Josh is Jason Bateman from Arrested Development. That's who I am, according to my brother.
Yeah, you definitely look like him a bit, although you're not running a money laundering business. But you tend to keep your cool like he does in the show.
Right, that's what.
Eric, tell me what you love about the show. What are you getting at? How far are you? First,
I finished it, man. I'm all done.
Yes.
Okay.
What season?
You're done.
So good.
Season 3 done.
Okay, so 3 is the best.
Josh is not. Josh is on season 1.
I've done like half of one.
Josh, I say go back and watch it again. Get back into it because it's so good. And season 2 builds on season 1, and season 3 is like levels above. It's so good.
Can I just say, and then you guys can agree or disagree?
The end of season 3.
The girl who plays
the end of season 3, the very last 10.
Yeah. Mind blowing.
It's amazing.
What just happened?
Yeah.
It just changes everything you thought you knew about the show. So good.
Yeah.
The girl who plays, is it Ruth? What's her name?
Ruth.
Yes.
Oh my God,
Ruth. She's unbelievable. Hands down the best out of the whole show. Like,
have you heard the actress off cam? Have you heard her speak when she's not being Ruth?
She's from like the Bronx or something, or Brooklyn.
No, she is a hardcore, like pinky next to your mouth, English, like proper English. Yeah.
What are we talking about? You're talking about the little girl that plays, is it Ruth? Is that her?
Ruth.
Yeah,
Ruth.
Yeah, Ruth.
Like, shut your fucktard mouth. Yeah. Yeah, you stupid bastard.
She's from New York.
No, she is from England, man. She is as British.
Dude, she's from New York. Look her up. Look it up, Justin.
Eric, he said she puts a pinky in her.
Look her up. She's from New York, straight up. I think either from Brooklyn or the Bronx.
There must be a confusion over play. There's no way Matt could be wrong.
You're talking about the young girl that lives in the trailer?
Okay. Yeah. So, all right, here we go. Can I share my screen for this? Here we go.
Can you show the interview of her talking?
Critical.
This is what's important here.
Maybe I heard her pretending to be British.
It says she is an American actress.
There you go.
She's naturalized.
From New York. She's from New York.
Matt's not giving up on this one.
Come on, people in the comments. You know she's from New
York. Wikipedia is going to tell us. American actress, Ruth Langmore.
To the right, New York City. Boom, to the right. Born in New York City.
Damn, Eric, you know pop culture, bro.
Eric knows. Oh, dude, she's married. She's born in 94.
She's recently married. She's too young. Stop looking. She's great, though.
She's born in 94. Okay.
She's so talented.
I stand corrected, man. Wow. All right.
But seriously, though, do you agree that is she not the best actor on that show?
She's incredible.
I will
She's
say
absolutely incredible.
the guest actor.
I've been running around telling everybody she's British, by the way. So I've been that guy yet again, which I do this shit all the time. I run around
It took me
and
3 seconds.
run
to
my
figure
mouth like
it
I
out.
know what I'm talking about, and I was wrong. So anyway, that's awesome. But no, I agree. She's a phenomenal actress, and I just love her character on that show. Although everything's changing now at the end of season 3, as you know.
Spoiler.
No,
Well, don't spoiler.
You're not even into the show. You know what we're talking about.
I am now. You guys are hell of a salespeople. So
listen, you have to watch. Josh, I don't know what kind of free time you have over there, but when you get some,
every night, baby. But But here's the problem about
you got a whole army.
One. I have a couple different generations of kids, you know.
Right. So you make the olders watch the youngers, and then you can go watch Ozark. Is that how it works?
It's gonna be tricky. Yeah, it'll be tricky because my mids like to watch what shows with us at night.
Yeah, but what's next? I've finished with Ozark. What you got? Any recommendations?
I'm kind of Narcos is good. I'm into.
How many seasons do I commit to?
That's like the story of Pablo Escobar and all that. I mean,
how many seasons are they in? How many?
There's 2 or 3, but they change. They follow different drug cartels and stuff like that per season. So I'm in season 1, which is following Pablo Escobar.
Okay. The only show I've been considering going back in time and watching, because everyone told me to watch it and I paid attention to it, is The Wire. I missed that whole phenomenon.
I missed that too. I wouldn't mind getting into that.
Yeah.
But
agreed.
Now's the time, man. Now's the time. What you watching on?
What else you gonna do, right? Yeah.
Anybody?
My wife's got me watching like she was watching Downton Abbey. I never got into it because it's awful. And I'm just like, no, I'm not watching British people worry about
what the maids are putting together.
Yeah, like you're going to serve the duck today. Like no,
the confit.
I can't go there. No. Like you're gonna serve the port wine. Yeah, the master will not be so happy. Yeah, how dare you? How dare you? Anyway, so not that, but I can't get her into a show. She needs like protagonist, antagonist, and feel good stuff. I mean
she doesn't want
no. If you want a husband and wife show,
yes.
Okay, check out Turn. TURN. Have you seen? I mean, listen, we think it's great. We watched every single one. It's General Washington Spies. And you think, oh, there's a lot of history. Dude, it is unbelievable. She'll like it if she likes Downton Abbey, and you'll like it because it's telling you the whole history of New Jersey.
Like
80% of the series is in New Jersey.
In the show notes.
Is most of it true and historically accurate?
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, no, dude. And at the same time, compelling. Every show, like I couldn't watch less than 2 at a time, but 3.
She started watching The Queen, which is the story of Queen Elizabeth.
So way better than that. Like way better. She might like it. She might love it. Actually.
That's cool.
Maybe I will. She got an Ozark, believe it or not. There's no protagonist in Ozark.
No, everyone is bad. Everyone is bad.
They're all
different degrees of bad.
Like the demise of society.
Right.
Yeah. We're just watching the wheels slowly come off.
Since we're talking about TV, did anyone watch the Parks and Rec special last night? Am I the only one?
New content or old?
They created a new episode of Parks and Recreation last night, and it was like this. It was a video chat. They brought all the actors back. It was to raise money for a charity, but it was a real episode, 30 minutes, and it takes place now. So they're dealing with coronavirus. Ron's in his shed, and Amy's doing this and that. So if you ever watched Park and Rec and you liked it, they did a new episode last night. I think it's on
I've been appreciating the people that, depending on how long Corona crazy goes, they're going to have to figure out how to film stuff and keep content regular and film the news or whatever with people doing this. If you guys have been watching SNL, but Saturday Night Live has tried to stay, and this is like the cast running around their house filming videos on their cell phone. Like they've gone guerrilla.
You got to do what you got to do. It's been pretty cool, and it's cool to see.
It's been good enough. Yeah, some of it's still just like SNL. Like 50% of it's good, 50% of it's not funny, but it's still curious. I'm watching how creative they've getting. For me, what I'm getting out of it, going back to business, is getting creative, changing gears, but keeping your message out as times change. Just using creativity to keep going. My kids watched Sesame Street. Had a Elmo's video play date, right? and Elmo is doing Zoom calls, and he's bringing on Cookie Monster, and he's bringing on other people, whatever. Yeah, and Sesame Street had that on PBS, and I put myself like, hey, watch it. You know, I mean, what the hell? That's what Daddy's doing every day, talking to his buddies on Zoom.
Yeah.
You know?
Where, by the way, real quick, this is a very important public service announcement. Where will we find Parks and Recs?
Oh,
is it like YouTube?
Well, it was on TV last night. It was on NBC. So I think NBC.com or
okay.
I would just Google it. Dude, if you were a Parks and Rec fan,
it was big time.
Really
Watched
good.
every one.
My wife loved it.
I wasn't into it while it was on, but now with Netflix, I got into it, and you can just binge it. It's all on Netflix, and it's amazing. And so they had Chris Pratt. I mean, they had a whole bunch of guest stars, like all the big guys that you would think, oh, they're too big for that now. They were all there. Everyone was there.
Hey, let's talk about this in terms of business and an industry as far as like movie going.
Erik's getting us back on track. I love it.
No, because I think that this is going to really disrupt. I've been waiting for this day that the movie industry in Hollywood is going to get disrupted. You know, the Airbnb, the Uber of theater, where it's going away. Like you're going to be able to consume movies at home because everyone has the means and the home theater setups where you can now watch Avengers 12 from the comfort of your own home and pay $50. Who wouldn't do that? I do that all day long.
Did you guys see the Trolls thing? Did you hear about
$380
million? It cost them $90 million to make that movie, which already is crazy.
Did you hear what Universal did?
Wow.
Universal said no more. AMC said no more Universal movies. We're not playing them anymore because you did that to us.
That's going to kill that. They're killing themselves doing that.
Exactly.
But do you think they're going to remove every other seat in theaters or just close them all and go drive-ins? Let's go back.
What are you going to do? You know, well, here's the thing.
There's going to be pop-up drive-ins now.
What's a real estate play for movie theaters? Because if we in this country are going to lose certain real estate uses that people have, I'll predict a few, right? Movie theaters, maybe some restaurants, but they'll come back. Office buildings. America's going to figure out that we can work from home just as well as we can work from where we are. Office spaces like the Hive, like my building in the Trenton, I think Trenton's going to be fine because it's more of a shared workspace. I think that shared workspaces are going to become more prevalent. But let's just say GE figures out, why do we need to go leasing 40,000 square foot in an urban, in a downtown core, costing us $30 a square foot, per year or whatever? Why do we have to go paying that? When I could go take that 1.2 million back to our bottom line and allow our employees to work from home. Because guess what? GE didn't shut down because they didn't have their employees in an office building, right? So if they don't renew that lease, what do we do with those office spaces with probably millions of square foot of office space all across the country? What is an adaptive reuse that real estate investors could do with that and movie theaters? Just plan. I don't know. But I think whoever figures this out is going to have the next Uber, the next whatever it is.
Do you think it's going to be housing, a large percentage of it?
Here's what I think. This is what Matt Faircloth would do if I could clone myself and do another thing. I think it's micro. I think it's going to be Airbnb except for offices. You know how you can rent an Airbnb of somebody's home. I think the Airbnb model could be extended into office space. So if the four of us want to go have a face-to-face and rent something, and rent an office maybe for like a week and have a pop-up meeting or a pop-up conference or a pop-up get together or pop-up, whatever it is, I'm going to be able to rent an office space or rent that raw square footage for a little bit of time and then give it back, to do within certain reason, whatever I'm going to do in there, whether that's conference room or film a freaking movie or do whatever in that space. It's going to be just raw space that I can rent by the hour or by the day versus by the month or by the year.
I just got an idea, not to diverge. I want to come back to what you're saying, but can we start investing in vending machines that have masks? Can we do that right now? Let's put that together. Because I know you're talking about ATMs in your businesses, right? What about vending machines that offer Purell, offers masks, offers all this stuff? Because people are going to forget, oh, crap, this is required. I have to do this. It's the law. So now you're like, oh, boom, boom, boom. Take it, put it on. Anyway, just an idea.
Not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. I think that I think an even better business is a company that stocks a lot of that stuff, like that stocks Purell and N95 masks and things like that, and is willing to do a delivery to wherever you are. That I can just pull up my cell phone and I can have somebody deliver a mask, gloves, and a bottle of Purell, a survival kit, call it whatever you want to say, to me, and a specific a COVID kit, and wherever I am. There's your brand right there, COVID kit.
Grab the URL right now.
COVIDkit.com.
Yeah,
you guys are wonderful. This has been wonderful.
Yeah, it has. I smell dinner ready, so I'm going to go downstairs and have dinner with my family. But
I actually smell dinner ready too. I thought,
I know it's about that time, isn't it?
Are you bringing it over?
A few plugs. One more time, join us at Insiders by texting 66866, the word DeRosa to 66866. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate you. Next week, we're going to be having our real estate team on the air. It's going to be our acquisition specialist, our underwriter, many of our business team that run the back end of a real estate apartment building company is going to be here on the air. So for those of you guys that either want to get into apartment buildings, that want to hear about apartment buildings, that want to invest in apartment buildings, or just want to learn more about the space, then be here because it's going to be next Friday, 5 p.m. We're going to talk some real estate shop, probably talk some more TV shows and talk some more Netflix and stuff like that, and talk about raising kids and all the crazy stuff that comes up too. But we'll also be sure to keep it interesting and talk real estate shop as well. So be here next Friday, 5 p.m. And we'll have to get Chatto on as well and do some chats with Chatto and the wholesaler circle as well too. So quick final words one more time for everybody watching. Josh and Erik, how can people get a hold of you if they want to hear more? We didn't mention capital hacking, so you guys can mention capital hacking and mention how people can get a hold of you guys if they want to hear more. So go for it.
Yeah, listen, our wish is that you enjoy an episode with Erik and I on capital hacking, where Robert Kiyosaki says we're doing the right thing. I promise you, he says it every episode. So yeah, check out capital hacking if you want to expand your horizons.
And we recently had Jay Scott, right? The guy that started it all for us and Bigger Pockets Publishing, and who knows if Matt's book would have existed under this moniker if it wasn't for Mr. Scott as well. But
no,
we listen for that interview. It's on live, but it's also going to come out on iTunes, where we took a deep dive into buying business.
Oh, it was incredible.
That was not part of the plan, but really,
you deep dive in what? Like, give us a little taste.
I'm buying businesses and strategies behind buying businesses. How you would approach business owners in terms of like, hey, I'm interested in purchasing or investing in a business like this, and how do you negotiate? He talks about that. So he really gets into a lot of really cool stuff outside of real estate, which people don't really get too much, content from him like that, aside from the Bigger Pockets Business Podcast. But yeah, it was a really good episode, Josh.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, by the way, all of us in this, ecosystem, the idea of buying these businesses, he did a phenomenal job of making it approachable for anybody. So he's a master teacher, is he not?
He's got me looking. I'm on that because of the inspiration I've gotten from Jay Scott. My wife and I are very seriously looking at other. Not that we don't love real estate. I don't like real estate. I love real estate because it's created a great life for me. It's helped me create a great life for a lot of people. But we want to diversify, and there's other vehicles out there. And so we're looking at everything from coin-op laundries to buying HVAC companies, buying just recession-proof businesses, because there's a bunch of them out there in that. So I've gotten a lot from Jay Scott, and I cannot wait to listen to that episode too.
Yeah, definitely listen to it, because he talks about the opportunity now more than ever. He likens it to 08, 09 in real estate, where now it's, instead of real estate, it's business, because there's all these opportunities for people to invest in, no money down, very little money out of your pocket, just like real estate. And it's really an eye opener. A lot of people don't. When Josh and I went to a mastermind about this specifically, it was like another purple pill for us.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, whoa, buying businesses, buying podcasts, buying Facebook groups, stuff that nobody thinks about or talks about, buying Instagram pages. Like, our minds were blown, and there's just so much stuff, and your mind will be blown by listening to that Jay Scott episode. And the Matt Faircloth, he's a regular on it. We've given him a silver robe with a cigar in the pocket. He's been like a three-peater.
It's an easy walk for me to get to your studio normally outside of Corona Crazy, because I just kind of walk about 5 steps to the door next to my door to your studio.
Look at that. The only reason you do it for the 3 times.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Look at that post down there,
look at
Eric.
that.
You
Thanks,
see
man.
Mark?
We love you, Mark.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark.
Very
And
cool.
big shout out to Justin. He's always been a huge champion and a brand advocate in helping the capital hacking
And
community.
amazing co-host when you're too lazy to join in.
When he's on strike.
Whoa.
One time, we were live. I did 3 episodes back to back. I was exhausted. My brain was fried, and I looked over at Justin. He goes, "You need me to step in?" I said, "Please." And he jumped in, and he was in the co.
I think I co-hosted 4 or 5 of these actually. One time you were out of town, a few times in Dallas.
I'm saying the one time you jumped
Well,
in.
I'm a syndicator of podcast partners.
There you go. Smart man right there.
Just so you know, I have never hosted a podcast. I don't have my own podcast. And I've
You'd
never
be good at it. Come join me.
in my life. I've never sat in the host seat on a podcast.
Oh,
I'd love to.
Come join. It's so much fun.
Interesting.
It is fun.
Yeah,
You're natural.
I'd love to do it. I might need some coaching behind the scenes on
There you
how
go.
to do it because I'm so used to. I've been on a lot as a guest, but I've never been on as a
I
host.
think
So I'd
On Air
like to-
Brands is a coaching program you could sign up for.
We
I'll tell
appreciate you
this,
guys.
dude, Matt, your energy level when you turn it to not 11 but 12, and you do the Chris Farley thing, you're like, "Hey,
Who was Matt Faircloth?
work. It will work on a podcast.
Yeah,
Just don't come in hot too close to the mic."
I know. Okay,
Yeah.
Dude,
All
that
right.
outtakes.
I'll
from,
look into it. I'll look into it. Yeah, right. Look for the blooper reel. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having us here. It's been
You
a
are
great
welcome,
happy
guys.
hour.
Thank you for being here. Well, more happy hours as long as folks are watching. We'll be here. So, thanks. Yes, 6686. Text the word DeRosa to come join us at Insiders. Love to have you guys on board.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Have a phenomenal weekend, everybody. Stay safe. And just come see us again next Friday. All right. Take care.
We'll be
Thank you,
drinking.
buddy. I'll be watching.